Hello and welcome to episode number 22 of the SwanBank podcast. We are so glad that you've chosen to, for some reason, listen to us today on your commute, outside in your garden, wherever you find yourself. My name is Sam and I'm joined by the very wonderful Kathryn Stevens. Kathryn, how are you today?
Today is a good day. I'm feeling zippy today.
Feeling
Sam.
zippy?
Yes.
Wowzers. I've never known somebody to use the word zippy as much as you, honestly.
Well, do you know, how are you, Sam, more importantly?
Oh, I'm good, thank you.
Good.
A bit hot.
It is sweltering.
Sweltering. Good word.
Sweating.
Good use of the word sweltering. I enjoyed that. That was very good.
Thank you very much.
That was very good. I wouldn't quite say I was zippy. Energy levels are down at the moment.
We're sitting in my office now, which is a little slightly cooler than the main office,
That's
which
true.
is like a sweatshop.
That's true. They've turned all the lights off in the office.
Is that why? I wondered why.
Because they thought it would make them cooler. I don't know if it's
Okay.
worked, but
I feel a bit bad now because
Do you?
Sam and I, you and I have just had a meeting with someone else in my office
We
and
have.
stole the office fan to put in
is this
here.
the office fan?
Well, it
I
was
thought
it-
this was just your personal
Well,
fan.
I put it in the office before. I got it from the church.
Did you?
I did. I stole it from the church. I put it in the main
No.
office for them. But then when I
So
thought
this
we're
is the
meeting
one that
here-
Chris had up his T-shirt on
That's the
Sunday
one
night.
Chris had
Well,
up his
I
t-shirt.
mean, I wish you'd have told me that before I touched it.
and
That was gross.
then on Sunday night, as I'm in full flow from
Yeah.
the platform, I look and Joel is literally like holding it above his head
Yeah.
on the main camera because
Indeed.
the cameras were just overheating.
If you're wondering
weren't
why you didn't get the array of angles that you're used to on a Sunday evening, it's because all the cameras decided to melt in the
they? No.
in the warm temperatures. So poor Joel, whose camera he was operating had just given up, then was sent to find a fan and to hold it up to the main camera. So that was fun. There is actually a photo that I think Petra posted on our little Facebook
She
group
did. That's right.
of Joel looking very funny, just stood
Gosh,
with
it
with a
was
fan.
a hot day.
It was warm.
What do you like to do on a hot day, Sam?
Stay inside. Right now, it's the pollen levels are so high that if I go outside for 10 minutes, I'm then sneezing for an hour afterwards.
that's miserable,
So
isn't it?
at the moment, it's not really worth it.
Oh, that's a
So
shame.
that's sad.
That is sad.
But I
really.
do any excuse for a nice lolly I
You brought
prefer
some
an
nice
ice
lollies
lolly
in 2 days ago, didn't
over an ice cream. They
you?
were
Was it
George's
yesterday?
actually.
Was it yesterday?
I can claim no credit for those.
Okay, well I was.
They've been
grateful.
in the coffee lounge freezer I think since last
Since
summer.
last Colour Splash,
Yeah.
probably.
Indeed.
2 years ago.
2 years
No.
ago. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Well. there you
So
go.
yeah, so I love a fruit ice lolly. A Calippo would be my dream on a hot summer's day.
Do you know what I had last night?
What did you have?
A Solero.
Oh, hello.
I know. They're good, aren't they?
Lovely stuff. Did you ever used to have one of my favourite holiday memories was Solero shots, which were in little plastic
little
tubs,
plastic tubs,
and they were
little
like little.
balls.
And I'm not talking like alcoholic shots.
No.
They were literally just little balls of Solero.
Yeah. They were a bit gimmicky for me. I'd prefer
Mate,
just.
When I was 8, they were the best thing in the world.
Well, you see, I would just prefer a standard Solero.
Oh,
The
really?
mango and passion fruit one.
Oh, okay.
Not because you can get a black currant one.
Very exotic.
I like it. So it was
Very
very
nice.
good. And they're only something like 90 calories,
Absolute bargain.
which means you can have two.
Absolute bargain. One of my favourite things about being in Burslem is the farm foods around the corner
It's great.
and the 100% orange juice lollies that they sell, the Del Montes.
Del Montes.
Or There's nothing quite like
the
it on a
man
hot
from
summer's
Del
day.
Monte, he says yes. That was the advert.
Was it?
Yeah,
that
it
was
was.
before my time.
But everyone listening will remember it.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go. There
Very
you
good.
go.
We should say we are actually in the same room this week for the first time in what is quite a
2
while.
weeks, at least.
Indeed.
Yes.
Indeed. Have you
we
missed seeing me in person?
are. No.
Oh, fine. Good. Very good.
Have you missed me?
Well, we'll just move swiftly on from there. That's fine. Wowzers.
What
Don't really
have
know
you
what
been
to
up
say
to?
to
Anything exciting?
that.
Apart from staying in the house away from the pollen.
Well, I've not been in the house the whole time. I went on another bike ride on last
Well
Friday.
done.
That was nice. Went along the canal. All the way along the canal, all the way round to Westport Lake.
I've
It was
never been in
lovely.
the canal.
Neither had I. It's lovely. You should try it.
I do want. I said to Lloyd, I want to
Honestly.
have a walk along the canal.
So I
I
cycled
don't know
along.
that he's ever been along. Even though he's like he's born in Stoke. Wow.
So I cycled along to Milton and then jumped on the canal there after getting lost in Milton. I did a couple of extra miles, more than I should have,
Oh.
because I think I drove down the same street about 3 or 4 times.
Oh dear.
But anyway, once I found the canal,
Yes.
it was lovely. So came all around there, past Festival Park and Middleport, and eventually ended up at Westport Lake.
You were on a roll.
I thought, that's a big hill to get home now.
Oh. Had you had enough by then?
I'd had enough by then.
That's the trouble, isn't it?
That's the trouble. But I've learnt, I think, if I do the hill first next time and get to Westport Lake and then go the canal the other way,
it's
then
downhill all the way.
Flat all the way home.
That's what you need.
That's a good thing about a canal. It's got to be flat. So ideal for cycling.
Yes. Well, that's great. That's a good idea. I walked to work this morning.
You turned up like you'd been on an expedition. So big was your backpack.
2.2 miles.
2.2?
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
There must be something in the air this morning. I went for a run at 7:30 this morning.
Wow.
I know. I don't know what was the matter with me. I think I was just I was just not very happy being too hot in bed. So I thought,
I'll go for a run.
Up. Well, because
on the hottest day of the year.
So this whole flipping half marathon thing that's going on, right? That I'm doing. It's
so funny.
Ridiculous. And how are you supposed to run in an oven when it's like an oven outside? How are you supposed to do anything?
I was laughing my head off because if any of you tuned into our service on Sunday night, we had the wonderful Trudy Perkis, who is a physio, and the reading was about running the race set before you, and she talked about working as a physio with people doing a marathon, and she asked the question if anyone's done a marathon, and I wanted to say, Sam's about to do the half marathon, and I knew that would have caused so much laughter in the church, but I didn't.
Unless he was literally pointing and laughing at me across the room.
I didn't want to stop her flow, but I did chuckle about that.
Very upset. But so to do any sort of trading, I can't. I can't. Once it gets to 9 o'clock, it's literally like an oven, isn't it? So I'm sweating just talking here. I feel like I'm dripping. Oh my gosh, ridiculous.
Wow.
Anyway,
and that marathon is soon.
Well, yeah. Thanks for the reminder.
When is it again?
It's the end of September.
End of September. I didn't really know what it was. I was just saying it.
And there's some big hills. Let me tell you. Have you ever driven up Anchor Road?
Where even is that?
So you start in Longton and then you end up. It just keeps going up forever.
Wow.
So you got to run up there. I think you got to do one of them round here as well. Not very excited.
Sam.
But it'll all be fine.
You will do it.
I will do it. I will do it. We'll do it. Will you be there with banners of support?
What day is it?
Well, it's a Sunday.
They're usually a Sunday, aren't they?
It's a Sunday. I think you should cancel church and bring everyone to. Oh gosh.
What date is it?
It's the 26th.
Oh, I'm not on holiday.
So I'm also going to have to get myself all sorted and return for the evening. So I might have to lead worship from seated on that Sunday evening.
That'll be so funny.
I might have to stay in position on the stage.
Wow.
I know.
I feel like I can do something with that.
Oh, great. I'm sure you will. Sure you will.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So we announced last Sunday that the 5th of September is our big back together Sunday.
Yes.
How excited are you?
I'm really, really looking forward to it. I've just missed seeing people.
Yeah.
I really have. So there's good stuff, isn't there? That we can sing in church at our 9 o'clock and our 6:15.
Yes,
from
indeed.
This Sunday.
Still spaces, so please book in.
Yeah. They're quieter Sundays, aren't they? In our church, really, there's lots of people go on holiday, so there is space for people to come along and just get used to being in the building again.
That's true.
Get familiar with the building again, and just appreciate being together. So we'd love to see you 9 o'clock or 6:15. Come along, and then the 5th of September.
Back together.
The back together day.
Very excited
for our morning service for our 10:30, which will just be lovely to see our children again and our adults again, and just to be with each other.
Yeah,
be a real blessing. I'm really looking forward to it. Are you?
I am. It's been a very strange season having such an empty auditorium.
Yeah.
Even the evening services have been lovely, having people in as with the 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
But having 20 or 30 people in the room is not the same as our sort of 200 or so on a Sunday morning. There's something about that atmosphere and that unity of being people who just love to sing praise and pray together and hear God's word, all that stuff. To do that in that bigger gathering is just amazing, and it's certainly been missed.
It is.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Won't take that for granted any longer, I don't
think we will. I mean, my goodness, this has been a learning time, hasn't it? In all sorts of ways. Practically, we've learnt stuff, but also I think we've learnt stuff about ourselves and about each other, and not like me and you about each other. Well, we probably have, but like generally, haven't we? We've learnt about like human beings and how we work and stuff. I just thought I'd better.
I didn't feel like you needed to explain that, but
did you not? I felt like I needed to.
Fine. Great. Oh dear. Move swiftly on. Keep going. It's fine. There's probably something good in there somewhere to say. I don't know. Maybe.
We should move on to
the
business of today,
well,
we?
Before we go there, Monday was Freedom Day.
Yeah.
how are we feeling about Freedom Day? I have mixed feelings about so-called Freedom Day.
I went into a shop yesterday and this morning, actually, as I was walking to work, to pick up a yogurt without a mask on.
Really?
That felt weird.
It's very strange.
Yeah.
I did shopping in Morrison's yesterday, masked up. I thought, I'm not ready for the...
I knew you would.
I'm not ready for the no mask.
I could see you as a mask wearer. That's fine. And I think that, I mean, I've got 2 funerals on Friday.
Yeah.
So I'm potentially going to be mixing with quite a lot of people on Friday across the 2 funerals because they're not limited by legal numbers.
Which is lovely for those families.
Yeah.
Actually, isn't it?
Yeah. But the thought of kind of, speaking to a whole lot of different people, I will still be trying to distance myself, and I think I will still take a mask for the before and after. Just
I think lots of people are in that place of
I think they are.
Not feeling quite sure.
No. And I must admit, when I went into the shop not wearing my mask, I thought that's my choice, but actually the workers in this shop actually can't choose for me, can they? So I did think maybe for their sakes I should still be wearing that. So I think I might do that.
Be more Sam. Wear a mask.
Be like Sam.
Be like Sam. Anyway, because you probably need to leave at this point, don't you? You need to go.
Yeah, I do.
No, we've made you late. I apologise. But we've got a special guest today, haven't we?
We have got a special guest.
So what you're about to listen to is an interview between Kathryn and the amazing Mr. Ben Andrews, who's one of my favourite people in the world.
He's
been working with us for a little bit over the last few weeks. So I will hand over to you and to Ben.
Fabulous. So, Ben has been with us for the last few weeks at SwanBank. Ben, it's great to have you with us.
Thank you.
Have you enjoyed being part of the staff team for a little while?
I have indeed. It's been great.
Excellent. That's good. So, important question first. Who do you like best, Sam or me?
Me.
That was not... No, you have to choose between Sam and me.
Me.
Fair enough. I can't argue with that. Yeah. So, why have you been with us at SwanBank for a few weeks?
I've been gaining a bit of interest in what it's like working in a church, on the worship side of it, behind the scenes, seeing what it's like, and then on youth work behind the scenes with Rachel as well.
Yeah, that's great because I mean, you've been coming to SwanBank since you were how old?
I have no clue.
For quite a long time.
Quite a while.
Quite a lot of years.
Quite a lot of years.
And did you come to faith at SwanBank?
Yeah, I'd say it's been partly because of SwanBank and other influences in life. I say influences, like milestones and events and things that happened.
Okay. Tell us a bit more about that.
So, obviously I've been coming to SwanBank for quite a while, and I've pretty much grown up coming here with my dad, and then my sister used to join but doesn't now. But then from then there was at one point in my life where I started not going to church as much.
Right.
And started to just delve into life with friends and things like that, and I started swaying away from it. But that was at a point where life got a little bit tough. Yeah. And at the most prominent point is when I felt God speak to me. And at that moment in time I didn't realise that it was God talking to me, and that it was only I'd say 2 years after. Yeah. But even when God did speak to me, I realised I should probably go back to church and learn more and grow in my faith more, because it's a pretty big thing that happened.
Yeah. And how did you kind of discern that it was God speaking into your life? What made you know that?
After the few years of coming back to church, I kind of realised that God talks to us in ways that we may not think of at the time, and it can be in small ways or big ways.
Yeah, that's true.
For me, it was a pretty big event in my life, which then looking back now, I was like, there is literally only God that can be the answer for
oh wow,
the only reason why that happened.
That sounds quite dramatic.
Yeah,
wonderful. Gosh, so that obviously spurred you on to think, actually I need to get back into church and just see what God's saying to me and what God wants in my life. So coming back into, how did you find it coming back into church more regularly? Was that an easy transition, or was that difficult, or?
I'd say I found it quite easy because I already knew people here, and I was already kind of involved, like with the worship as well. Because my dad was
playing the
keys as well. Yeah. So I kind of got into that, and then that led into opportunities that Sam gave me, going to different places around the country, helping in worship, different events like ECG, for example. Yeah. The first time I went to ECG was Sam invited me, so
which is a Christian event that's happened for the last number of years in Scarborough. Before that, it was in Wales, wasn't it? And you have been on one of the worship teams there, haven't you?
Yeah.
So, because you play 2 instruments, do you play 2? Do you play more than 2?
I play multiple.
Okay.
Some my dad may say I should practice more than
others.
I
see you playing 2 instruments.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I see you playing bass and drums.
Yeah.
But so what else do you play?
So I play quite a lot of guitar.
Do
as well.
you?
Yeah. I'm quite partial to a bit of guitar.
Okay. Have I seen you playing your guitar?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Maybe.
I'm trying to think. Maybe I've just assumed you were there with the bass because I've been used to seeing you.
Yeah.
Fabulous. So you're obviously really, really musical then.
Yeah.
Okay. So thinking about that, does music help you feel closer to God?
I'd say it definitely does. Yeah. Like taking the time to sit down or go on a walk whilst listening to worship music.
Yeah.
It gives me that space away from everything, and it helps me to just connect with God.
Yeah.
In a way that over the last year, especially during lockdowns, has really helped.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. I think it's really important to find ways that help you feel connected with God, because it's quite easy to suddenly realise that you feel distant, isn't it, with all that goes on in the world and just the challenges of life, and suddenly you realise your relationship with God is not quite where it has been or where you would want it to be. So having those points of connection that is really important. So you are you're kind of in the place of just seeing what God might want for you in your life, and so you did your A-levels at Stoke Sixth Form.
Yeah, I did.
And then what came next for you?
So at the end of Sixth Form, I was kind of like umming and ahhing about what I should do, because doing a degree in what I was doing at Sixth Form, which was music and photography, it didn't really appeal to me, because I didn't want to ruin things I loved and turning them into some more of a chore to do.
Right, yeah.
So that was a big choice to make. And I've still kept on with photography and music. I love doing them as a hobby.
Yes.
But from Sixth Form, I made the decision to go from studying music and photography to studying theology, which to some people they might think, why?
Yeah, but that's quite a leap.
Yeah, but after many discussions with Sam, a few McDonald's trips, and a nice drink at Trentham Gardens one day, and thoughts and prayers about it, it led me to think that it was the right thing to do.
Okay. So you've just finished year 2 of your degree at Cliff College.
Yeah.
So you've got one more year to go.
One more year.
Yeah. So what has been? I mean, I realised actually 18 months of your 2 years has been like in a pandemic.
Yeah.
So that's really difficult. But in terms of the study that you're doing, in terms of your actual course, what are the things you're enjoying the most?
I'd say in the study, I'm enjoying like learning things that I had never really thought about previously, and then like delving into books in the Bible deeper with like New Testament exegesis modules and Old Testament, and then getting to hear about other people's thoughts about like different things in the class. Yeah. Good.
I think one of the big ways that I've found I've learned and grown over the years is through the sharing with other people and batting ideas off other people and wrestling with some of the theological stuff, and I think that our theology is best worked out in community, with one another, and I've found the most fruitful times of my growth has been those times when I've had opportunities to share with others, and in a safe environment, in a way that you know that you're not going to be judged for what you say, but you're actually going to be able to just articulate where your thinking's at, or what you're struggling with, or what you're not sure how to reconcile in your mind, and how to work through some of the some of the things we find in the Bible and all those kind of things. So it's a great opportunity. So so you finished for the year, and then you've come to spend a couple of days a week with us here at SwanBank.
Yeah.
What has been have you had any kind of moments that will be your takeaway moments, in a sense, from what you've been doing here? Anything that you think, oh, that was really good to be part of, or I was glad to share in that, or I realise, again, it's strange because we're not operating like we usually would at SwanBank at the moment. Anything?
I think it's good to take away that the knowing of things behind the scenes aren't as always easy as you might think.
Okay.
Like, there are some hurdles you need to get over, maybe about like what to plan for a youth night, or what to do when certain people have to isolate because COVID's a thing. And when like hurdles like that just come at you, it is an eye opener. Yeah. And like the time that actually goes into the preparation for a Sunday as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you've been working really closely with Sam, who's obviously part of Sam's role as our worship coordinator. So Sam works so hard to pull Sundays together for us. And I think unless people have seen, unless they've seen behind the scenes or work really closely with Sam, probably many people won't really know how much time and energy and preparation goes into it. And Sam's really quite a well-organised person. So it's interesting to hear you say that from the other side, you don't always see the kind of sweat and energy that goes into making things happen. And so but you've also worked with Rachel a bit, haven't you? And Rachel is working with our young people at the moment. And recently we started up at the Tuesday night youth group again. So what's been good about that?
I think one of the best things about the Tuesday night youth group was like seeing people that I've not seen before come to SwanBank and realizing that there was a new person coming pretty much every week. Yeah. And like getting to see how they're speaking, like about how like wise they are with what they speak as well, and also seeing people that I knew before I left to go to Cliff like grow up. Yeah. It's quite cool.
Yeah, good. What do you, having been someone who's grown up in the life of the church, what do you love about the church and what frustrates you about the church? And you can talk about SwanBank specifically, or you can talk about the church more generally, like the British church or whatever. So what do you love about church and what frustrates you?
I love like the sense of community and family. How when I can walk through a door and see someone smiling at me, I can smile back. Yeah. Because even if we don't necessarily like know each other, name to name, date of birth to date of birth. Yeah. You're still there. You're still with each other. Still loving each other, and the connection that you can feel there is great. Yeah, good. And what can frustrate you about church? I've never really thought about it that much, but
that's probably a good thing. That means that you probably haven't been overly frustrated with stuff, which is probably good. So yeah. So have you got any idea what's next for you after you finish your degree, Ben?
At the moment, nothing is like jumping out straight at me. But like, this is definitely where I want to go. This is what I want to do. Like, I'm kind of like seeing where the last year of my degree takes me. Like, other opportunities that I know might jump out at me. Like, I might get asked to do something in a year's time and be like, wow, that's pretty cool. I want to try that more and delve into that a bit more. Yeah.
That's great, because one of our young people who's just finished her degree at the same place is going to work in Jersey, isn't she? Yeah. Going to work in the churches, the Methodist churches there, which is just fabulous. Yeah. What an amazing opportunity to discover a new part of the world and to be able to share in God's work there. Yeah. So do you feel? How do you feel about it? Do you feel quite excited about the future, or do you feel a bit daunted by it, or what?
I'd say it's a bit of both. Like there is the excitement of like anything could happen, but there is the daunting part of the fact that anything could happen. Yes. Yeah. So it's kind of like the same reasoning, but sort of a greater feeling of excitement. Yeah.
Good. Are you someone who copes with the unknowns well, or do you prefer the known?
I do like the known quite a bit, but sometimes some unknowns are great to like learn from and get experience from.
Yeah.
Which I've definitely found out over the last few years.
Yeah. I think sometimes it's more the unknowns
yeah.
that where you learn the most, because it's often pushes you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, where you're out of your comfort zone is sort of the places where you can learn the most lessons and gain more experience from things that you never thought.
Yeah, and I guess by nature you're a fairly quiet person, aren't you?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that by nature you probably wouldn't push yourself forward.
Yeah, I tend not to push myself forward for things.
Yeah.
And sometimes I even like hesitate when people ask me to do things, like certain opportunities where they think I might be right for it. I start to sit back and think, yeah, sure you could find someone better.
But actually, I mean, one of what I've seen, obviously I've been at SwanBank for almost 3 years now, and what I've seen from you is someone who is really reliable, committed, willing to serve, willing to use your gifts and skills, and that is a really important place for you to be as a Christian, open to whatever God might have for you, willing to push yourself if you feel God's in it, and willing to be pushed. I think which is important, and trustworthy, reliable, that if you say you're going to be somewhere, you'll be somewhere. And that's a real gift to God's church, at a time when actually a lot of society doesn't want to commit to things. To have someone, a young person like you, who's actually saying, yeah, God, I want to be used by you. I want, you've given me gifts and skills and I want to use them. It's just amazing. So we think you're fab. Keep on going. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing something of your story with us today, Ben. It's been good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for listening to this week's episode of the SwanBank podcast. We're going to take a little break over the summer, and we'll be back with a bang in September. So thank you so much to Kathryn and to Ben for sharing this week. We'll catch you very soon. God bless.